Hello, my Pixel peeps. Welcome back. Nicole Payne, CMA, here as always to drop some accounting truth bombs. And today we are talking cost of goods sold. Specifically, we are in the third part of our budgeting mini-series. So we're talking about budgeting for cost of goods sold. Now, last week we talked about the sales budget, and you will definitely want to have that handy when you're doing your cost of goods sold budget because your cost of goods sold, as you might have guessed it, is dependent on how many sales you actually make. So having that handy, we are going to build off of that. The biggest and most complex part of determining your cost of goods sold budget, though, is determining your per unit cost for each of your products. Now, this may sound super straightforward, but it's not as straightforward as it might seem. For instance, retailers typically think per unit cost, oh, that's what I pay my suppliers. But what you pay to your suppliers is only a portion of what it costs to make that sale for that unit of product. So retailers have shipping costs, they have fulfillment fees, they have storage and warehousing fees. All of those need to be aggregated across the products that they sell and assigned to that per unit cost. For manufacturing or construction or industries along those lines, you're going to have direct materials and you're going to have direct labor, but then you have some indirect costs that may not seem like cost of goods sold, but they are costs necessary in order to make the sale. So supplies or rent for the warehouse, or your vehicle expenses because they're transporting your materials back and forth. Things of that nature all fall under your cost of goods sold. And again, they need to be aggregated across your products and across the per unit cost. Service businesses will have not only direct labor, because services, that's one of your number one costs with service-based businesses is your direct labor, but you also may have some materials that you might not think about. If you have to buy software in order to make a project happen, that software cost is the cost of goods sold. If you have particular digital items that you're purchasing, so for instance, marketing website designers might buy a website template, or they might buy digital media content that they can put on the website. Those things would be cost of goods sold, and they have to be aggregated across your per unit items. But another cost of goods sold, no matter what kind of industry you fall in, if you pay a sales commission, that sales commission is 100% cost of goods sold, and it needs to be accounted for as you're doing your cost of goods sold budget. So once you have your per unit cost, you create a matrix similar to what you have for your sales budget. So you list all of your products on the left column, and then you have a column for each month. You have your per unit cost in a column, and then you take the number of units that you plan to sell of product A for January, multiply it by your per unit cost. That's your cost of goods sold for product A in January. You take product B, multiply it by the number of units you're going to sell in January. You do all of that. You fill across, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, all the way to December. And then products A through Z, or however many products you have, you create totals at the bottom for your total cost per month. You create a total on the right-hand side for your total cost per product, and that is your cost of goods sold budget. But again, that per unit cost is going to be the most complex part of creating this budget. And if you have questions about it, or if you want some help looking at your costs and determining which ones are cost of goods sold and which ones aren't, give me a call, reach out. My contact information is at the end of this video, or you can drop a comment down below, and I'm always happy to respond there. But until next time, we'll see you on the next video. Take care, everybody.